Hi everyone, my name's Donna. I am the owner of Bookkeeping Made Simple. And today I want to talk a little bit about how to save money on your taxes. That is what this one pager is about. And there's a lot of ways that you can do that. The number one thing, just to give you a little bit of background on myself, I have a degree in accounting. I became interested in it in the late 90s when I took it was my first real office job. Prior to that, I had worked in the restaurant industry. I had been a server and a pizza delivery driver, and I worked at McDonald's. But once I really sat down and started working in accounting, I was hooked. I really, really liked it because I could see how much it helped my clients save money. I actually started out doing Medicare billing. So I was doing medical billing and working with patients at a hospital back east. It really helped me see how important it was to track every little thing. Okay, let's be honest, business is just math you do for profit. And so I like being part of the math part. So what I like to do, I tell a lot of my clients that it is your job as an American to pay taxes. We all have to pay taxes. It is your patriotic duty to pay as little in taxes as you legally can. The tax code exists the way it does to benefit anyone that can learn how to use it. A lot of people feel like the tax code is only there to benefit the wealthy. On the contrary, the tax code's available for anybody with the resources to learn how to use it. And I work largely with small businesses that can't afford a full-time on-site accountant. They don't have the money for a business lawyer. They just don't know what to do. And my job is to help them use the same methods that Warren Buffett uses to pay less in taxes than his secretary. So that's really, it's not just for the wealthy. It is for anybody that wants to learn how to use it and wants to save money on their taxes. I have worked with hundreds of clients through the years, if not thousands, to help them reduce their taxes and save money. I have had two classes of clients throughout that whole process. The ones that don't listen to me and they choose not to follow my advice, all of them have gone out of business. The ones that have chosen to follow my advice, and I always hate to say all of them have gone out of business, but it's true. The ones that are still in business are just hanging on by their fingernails at this point because they are overburdened with taxes, and businesses really don't need to be overburdened with taxes. But the ones that have listened to me, the ones that have worked closely with me, have remained in business, and a couple of them just in the past month or so have canceled. What? No, they canceled because they grew to a point that they needed an actual CPA. I'm not a CPA. I am an accountant. I'm not a CPA. There is a difference. But they started preparing for an IPO and no longer needed our particular services. And that is exactly the outcome I want for all of my clients. I want them to if they want to be traded on the stock exchange, if they're ready for an initial public offering, it just excites me to no end. That means I have been successful. So the strategy is to reduce the taxable income for the business or flow-through entity by using the tax code. We also want to see if retirement plans are appropriate or if we need to put the owners on payroll. And I'm going to talk about all of those strategies in just a second. So going back to the taxable income, at the end of the year, this is a really good time for business owners to really start, especially, and I would start early in the last quarter of the year. Start looking at what your retained earnings are for the year. You should be working with your accountant on this, but if not, you go to the balance sheet and you look at retained earnings. Or you go to the profit and loss for the year to date, and see what the net income is. We actually want that bottom line to be as close to zero as possible for tax purposes. That doesn't mean that your business isn't making money, but we do want your taxable income to be as low as possible. And one way of making sure that taxable income is low is to start really examining your net income and see if you can put more income into processes, procedures, equipment, payroll, whatever you need to do to grow your business. So what I mean by that, if you, let's say you have a construction business and you don't want to pay any taxes, and you have brought your taxable income down to a point where, when I do taxes, I actually will flip back and forth between the personal tax return, because many of my clients have what's called a flow-through entity, which means that the money from the business flows through and is reported on their personal taxes. So I will look at both the business tax and see what the business taxable income is, plug it into the personal tax return, and see, what are the outcomes, various ways that I can do that. They're all legal, by the way. I'm 100% using the tax code. I like to step right up to the line, but I don't want to do anything to get any of my clients in trouble. So everything that I teach is 100% legal. It is 100% in line with the tax code. So in the last quarter of the year, I will start looking at that net income and seeing, where can this business owner invest this money in such a way that it will end up growing his business for the next year, and it will reduce his taxable income for this year. So for example, I have a client who's a contractor, and I literally went back and said, you need to buy a truck. He said, what? I said, you need some more expenses. We can depreciate a truck. Oh, and you might want to hire a couple more crew. You have a lot of money that's taxable. We don't want this money to be taxable. We want you to reinvest in it so that you have more money coming in. And we want to make sure that you have less money that's available to be taxed. So that is one way of doing it. And I do work with my clients on that to make sure that they actually reinvest their net proceeds, their net income. I also like to see my business owners put themselves on payroll. The reason for that is, one, it's easier to get loans for yourself if you have a W-2 payroll pay stub. It's easier to buy a house if you can show that. It's not impossible without it, but it is easier if you have an actual pay stub and you can show that you're a W-2 employee. You can also, it also offsets because you have taxes withheld when you run yourself on payroll. It doesn't mean you can't still access income from the business if you need it, but if you put yourself on payroll, you can then withhold some of your taxes, which lowers your tax bill over the whole year. There's a number of benefits to using the payroll method. We can set up a retirement plan. I have a partner that I work with that is amazing at this. So anytime, and she also helps set up accounts to put aside the money that would be paid out in taxes so that it actually can be reinvested. So we look at a lot of different strategies that are available to lower that taxable income to, and if you have a retirement plan and you max it out, that's $5,500 right off the top. If you're under, I think it's 55, that you can invest in your retirement and not pay taxes on it. Or you can choose to pay taxes on it now for a lower tax burden later. But that is something that we talk about quite a bit throughout the year. Just kind of by way of example, I recently had a client, he's still a client. He is actually a contractor. The first time I did his taxes very early on in the year, we hadn't finished all of his books yet, and I was starting to put together his taxes. And I thought he was going to owe $60,000, and I was absolutely cringing. I don't like calling business owners and saying, "Oh, you have this gigantic tax bill." Nobody wants that surprise, right? So what I did then was I went through, I talked to his bookkeeper, who is an employee of mine, and we started really looking for deductions, perfectly legal deductions that are just maybe not taken advantage of. We started double checking with him. Did you buy any more equipment during the year? Do you have anything else that we can write off? Do you have really starting to dig, what about more equipment? You spent this money on this. You have invoices outstanding, which means that income is being recognized. Did you get paid on them all? So we went through all of his books and made sure that they were completely correct. And we were looking for additional tax deductions. In the end, instead of paying in $60,000, he received a refund of $20,000, which means he saved 80 grand. And most clients are pretty happy when you save them $80,000. So that's just one really quick example. If you would like more information, just take a look at our website, mysimplebookkeeping.com, and we will talk to you about what in your particular instance you can do to save tax money. This is, again, 100% legal. This is how the wealthy retain their wealth. And we want this to be available to everyone. Thanks so much, and I will see you in the next video.